Right, before we start the ride, let's have a quick look at the bike and we'll talk you through the features, what it looks like, and I'm going to talk you through how to use the app. The app is really useful for looking at how much battery you've got left and how much distance you've got left. And also, you can set the amount of assist at each of the levels, which is quite important. And I'll talk you through the recommendations for that.
So we're outside with the Giant Fastroad E Plus 2020 edition. We're going to give it a trial ride, but I'm just going to show you the bike as it stands. The rack that you see on here, it doesn't come with the bike. That's an aftermarket rack. The bike does have the fitting screws. As you can see, it was pretty straightforward to put on there, and it's been absolutely sturdy since I've had it on there. Okay, the gear set is a 11 rear cog. That's a lot of cogs by 2 front cogs, and as you can see, the front crank is pretty large, so you can get a fair amount of speed on this thing as well, a fair amount of pedal assist. Comes with hydraulic disc brakes, as you can see here. Shimano, they are absolutely phenomenal, and I've had no trouble stopping at higher speeds. It's really well built. So those are hydraulic brakes, front and back, both disc. The wheels, as you can see, come with a quick release. That's not ideal if you're riding around big cities, so I will change that to a secure spindle as soon as you can. Gear set is also Shimano. It is super smooth, not had any issues out the box. It comes already configured and have had no issues using the changing up and down gears. Super smooth. Obviously this, as you can see, needs a little bit of oiling, so it's worth keeping the gear set oiled and cleaned. This has been, obviously, as you can see, heavily used, so obviously to keep those components working, you want to be keeping them clean and lubricated. Okay, a couple of the accessories you might want to change. The pedals are not the best, but you know, they're pretty functional. Comes with the bull horns and a really ergonomic handlebar grip. It's super comfortable to ride. I don't get wrist ache on this. The handlebar is a standard size as well, so you can put your accessories on. This is an aftermarket phone holder that just fits straight on. Again, if you did want to change that, you can, but it has been absolutely comfortable for me. I always change them to this style of hand grip, and I've not had to change this one. Looking at the frame itself, it's a pretty good looking bike. The only complaint I might have is that it is going to draw attention. I mean, it's a pretty slick looking bike. It is going to draw some attention, so you have to be careful where you leave it. You get asked a lot about the bike when you're out. Big Giant branding there. It's obviously an electric bike with the big thick down tube there, and the battery's obviously inside there, and we'll have a look at the battery as well. But it's a pretty slick looking bike. Obviously the seat you can adjust. I wish it was easier to adjust. I don't know why they didn't do that, but you have to have an Allen key to adjust it. But it gives you a good range. But I wish it was a bit easier to adjust, so you can adjust when you're out and about without having to get your Allen key out. Okay. When you start the bike, start your engines, press on, all the lights come on to confirm everything's cool. This along the side tells you how much power you have, and this one tells you what level you're on. So push it down, you can go down to 1, and if you push it up, it goes all the way up to 5. I generally keep it on 3 because that's more than enough pedal assist for me. But if you're going up steep hills, this is really sensitive to the touch, so you can change it fairly quickly. But generally keep keeping it around 2 gives you good pedal assist and good battery life at the same time. So the bike comes with a handy app which you can connect via Bluetooth, and once your component there, the starter there is on, the app is then synced to it. So one of the things that you might want to do, I showed you the levels 1 through to 5, so you can tune those levels by clicking the tune button, and you can decide how much assist you're getting at each of the levels. So Eco being the minimal assist, all the way up to Sport Plus. So if you go into Eco, for example, I've set this to really low, so even if you're running out of battery, it'll get you home. So it's a useful thing to have in there. And then the next one up, which is Eco Plus, is probably the kind of the cruising assist that you want to use, and set that at 150. If you go back to the home screen, you can see obviously the battery level is there, but in addition to that, it tells you how much mileage you've got left, and it does that by depending on the level that you've set the engine on. So if you set it to the minimal assist number 1, it's showing 61. Now I'm going to move it up to assist number 2, level 2, and it's gone down to 45. You can see, so it gives you a rough idea of how much mileage you've got left, and it's quite handy to have that there. When you start running out of juice, you'll see these lights along the right side go down to 1, go red, and then eventually stop blinking. Once it starts blinking, you can't get out of the level 1 assist, so level 1, the Eco mode, and you've generally got just a few miles left to get you home. So it's worth keeping an eye on the app and keeping it charged and using the levels sensibly. So one of the things to remember with any bike, you're going to use more energy when you're in the wind or you're climbing uphill. So if it's telling you you've got 40 miles left, you've got to factor in if you're going uphill or it's windy, because it's going to go down a lot faster than you think. So it's worth factoring that in. It can't be exact. It gives you a rough indicator, but the wind and the uphill could reduce the battery by 15 to 20%, or reduce the mileage that's available to you by 15 to 20%. So it's worth bearing that in mind as well. So we're outside with the Giant Fastroad E Plus 2020 edition. We're going to give it a trial ride, but I'm just going to show you the bike as it stands. The bike is made of a lightweight alloy, but with the engine you've got a weight of 19 kilos, which is not terrible for a mountain bike. It's actually, for an electric bike with this amount of power, it's actually pretty phenomenal. It's powered by a Yamaha engine, and it's the Giant Sync Drive Pro. It really does have an amazing kick to it. One of the most amazing things for me is the tires. The tires, you cannot puncture the tires. I've tried it on gravel tracks, off-road, and these things just keep on going. It's absolutely amazing. They are ready for tubeless. They're not tubeless, but they are ready to be converted to tubeless, but they have reinforced tires in there, so they really are quite resistant. They're the Maxxis Refuse tires. They're 700 in size, and yeah, like I say, have an amazing kind of puncture resistance going on.
Right, so that's what the bike looks like. That's, some of the features. I talked you through the app. It's really useful to know that. Right, okay, it's time to get on the road. There's a link below to the next video in the series. You can find that in the description. While you're down there, hit me up with a like, drop me a comment. If I missed anything, not explained it clearly enough, drop me a comment and I'll get back to you.